And we are live. Good evening, everybody. We are Dan and Faith coming to you from. Got my twos and froms mixed up.
You know how to talk when you started this.
I know, it's all downhill from here. Anyway, we are coming to you from Charlestown, New Hampshire. And we are joined this evening on our Midweek Song Swap by Stephen Lee Rich of Madison, Wisconsin.
Hello there.
Hey, nice to see you.
Good to see you.
And I got to slide left because I keep falling off the picture.
Yeah, there you go.
That's not good. That's
No.
But,
Only, we need a full faith, not a half faith. So, yeah.
Right.
And, we've enjoyed playing shows in the past with Stephen and with Sandy. And
Stephen and his musical partner, Sandy Andina, as Andina and Rich.
And, thanks to the pandemic, we're doing them this way for a while.
Yeah.
It's been crazy. It's been just a strange year.
It has. And we got another one on the way here. It's right, we're going.
Yeah. It's somebody. I think it was on Facebook on the day of the insurrection, said that this is actually the bonus scene at the end of the feature film 2020 after the credits have rolled.
This is the outtakes?
Yeah.
Somebody today referred to this as the leap month.
Yeah.
Oh, great. Just what we need.
Lovely. My favorite gag out of 2020 was, I'm staying up till midnight on December 31st. Not so much to ring in the new year, but just to make sure this one leaves.
Yep.
I've had a number of years where I've wanted to do this. This one was most important.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Oh, should we kick it off with a song?
I'm thinking we should.
Absolutely.
All right.
And,
we'll see.
Just song swap. A song would be nice.
It would be nice. Yep.
We'll see you in a few.
Yep. And good evening, Marion, and good evening, Jay.
Jay.
And good to see you both, such as it is.
Ready?
Yep.
We come in fear, we come in pain, shedding tears like falling rain. But through it all, it's clear to see the light of love will set us free. Through darkest night, cold and alone, we gather in this humble home. As morning breaks with rising sun, raise our voices, sing as one. In this place, this quiet place, filled with memories, filled with grace. The ground below, blue skies above. There is wisdom, there is love. There's beauty all around us, there is hope upon the breeze. All depends on where you focus, it's all in what you see. Celebrate the richness, sunshine and rain. Join in friendship, hope replaces pain. In gentle harmony we sing along. Building community, a common song in this place, this quiet place, filled with memories, filled with grace. The ground below, the blue skies above. There is wisdom, there is love. In this place, this quiet place, filled with memories, filled with grace. The ground below, blue skies above. There is wisdom, there is love. There is wisdom, there is love.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Simple Grace, the opening track, or the title track at least.
From like 3 CDs ago.
3 CDs ago.
3 days ago.
how that happened, but
Long time ago in a galaxy far, far away.
Yeah.
Yeah, really. we all have. I stumble across an old CD that I've got. I still have one of. Every once in a while, I go, "Oh my God!" It's just
that was a while ago.
Yeah.
yeah, jeez.
Yeah.
And let's see.
Play us a song.
Yeah, I'm going to go to the opposite end of the scale here. And this is an old Stephen Foster tune that's been like floating through my head for the last couple of days, and the only way to get rid of it is to sing it. Thou wilt come no more, gentle Annie, like a flower thy spirit did depart. Thou art gone, alas, like the many that have loomed in the summer of my heart. Shall we never more behold thee, never hear thy laughing voice again? When the springtime comes, gentle Annie, when the wildflowers are scattered o'er the plain, we did love and roam midst the bowers, when thy downy cheeks were in their bloom. Now I walk alone midst the flowers, as they mingle their perfume o'er thy tomb. Shall we never more behold thee, never hear thy laughing voice again? When the springtime comes, gentle Annie, when the wildflowers are scattered o'er the plain. The hours grow sad while I ponder near the silent spot where thou art laid, and my heart bows down while I wander by the streams and meadows where we strayed. Shall we never more behold thee, never hear thy laughing voice again? When the springtime comes, gentle Annie, when the wildflowers are scattered o'er the plain, when the wildflowers are scattered o'er the plain.
Beautiful.
Nice. I don't think I've ever heard that one.
It's one of the Stephen Fosters that I don't know. So.
Yeah.
A lot of people, they hear Gentle Annie, and there's a version that Gordon Bach, Ed Trickett, and Emile Muir brought back from Australia. That is a very, very different sort of song, because it had gone through the full process and has almost music hall-like lyrics to it. And that's what most, when you say Gentle Annie, that's what most people are familiar with. But after hearing that, I'm one of those who will go back to the source material.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know,
We actually
it's
visited
a lovely song.
Yeah.
a year ago. We were at
Probably almost exactly.
no, it was a little later in the month, but we
Okay.
were at Stephen Foster State Park in North Florida. Spent several days there, and
There's a marvelous museum there, and we wandered into the museum, and there were a couple of musicians hanging out in one of the hall rooms, and we sat in, and And actually, at one point, they handed Dan the guy
It's a
handed
great
Dan
big
his
guitar.
big old dreadnought guitar, and
It was like a D35. It's like
about,
it's
twice the size of
a
any
little
of his
bigger than
ones.
anything I play, but we played one of our songs
yeah.
for him.
Yeah, and it was
nice.
just a beautiful place. And supposedly he never went to Florida, but the Suwannee River is right there. So
Yeah, well, the thing about Foster is this one is pretty typical of the kind of thing he did, which was to make himself miserable pining for things he couldn't have.
pretty much.
Which is why, although he invented basically the job of the full-time pop songwriter, he also invented all of the cliches that go with it by dying broke, drunk, sick, and alone.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Yep.
Oh.
And that fits for so many other pop songwriters and folkies. So yeah.
Yep. So we have a song that we think follows pretty well onto that one.
Okay.
It's one that I wrote.
And it even is on banjo, which is very
Cool.
very
Yeah.
appropriate for
Foster.
Foster. Only it's
Oh, yeah.
Dan's song and not Stephen Foster.
Cool.
All right. So this is called Where Are You Now? Ready?
Yep.
Where are you now, my darling, my sweetheart? Where do you sleep through the long nights? Where are you now, my darling, my sweetheart? Where are you now?
We met in the morning, danced in the evening, pledged to each other the very same day. Now you are gone to fight in the war. Here I sit lonely, waiting in tears.
They marched us for days, for weeks through the hillsides, off to the south with our cannons and guns. Brothers fought brothers, so many were slaughtered, waving the flags of tyrants and fools.
Where are you now, my darling, my sweetheart? Where do you sleep through the long nights? Where are you now, my darling, my sweetheart? Where are you now?
We gather in church, we gather together, we mothers and daughters, orphans of war. Each day we wonder who will return, and will they be changed when they come home.
We sit round the campfire well after sunset, dream of our loved ones so far away. Will you still be there if we return, if we make it back home?
Where are you now, my darling, my sweetheart? Where do you sleep through the long nights? Where are you now, my darling, my sweetheart? Where are you now?
It's been many years since we were together, far longer than the time we once had. No word has come to tell us what happened. Will you and the others come back someday?
The battle was long and bloody and deadly, like lambs to the slaughter. We were cut down here in this soil, we many lay resting, here for all time to sleep evermore.
Where are you now, my darling, my sweetheart? Where do you sleep through the long nights? Where are you now, my darling, my sweetheart? Where are you now?
Where are you now, my darling, my sweetheart? Where do you sleep through the long nights? Where are you now, my darling, my sweetheart? Where are you now?
That's a lovely song.
Thank you.
Kind of depressing. But
A little, yeah.
yeah, it actually it's a
It's from a
phone
prompt.
song.
Yeah, you've done our prompt things.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
The prompt for this one was, "It's been longer since I've seen you than I knew you." Yeah,
Ooh.
And from that, I got a Civil War song with
on banjo.
on banjo.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
That's where my mind went.
Yep.
Yeah, you never know where your mind is going to go when you get one of those.
Oh, I know. And the song that I did from that one is one that we haven't actually done anything with yet, but it was all from the point of view of the family dog, and you've just left the house, and you're never ever coming back again.
Oh, of course not. No.
And 10 minutes
I've
later,
been abandoned. Help.
Yep. And 10 minutes later, when you get back, where have you been?
Yeah.
I
Faith
thought I was
likes
going to
right-
starve.
As you may recall, Faith likes writing dog songs.
Yes.
Yes. That and chocolate songs.
Yeah.
Oh, well, yeah, of course.
Dogs and chocolate. Well, a lot of us have not been anywhere for a long time. And this is throwing my guitar. All right, you smart aleck guitar.
Oh, there you go. It's the high E.
Something slipped.
It was in tune when you
Yeah.
bought it. I don't know.
While you're doing that,
Yeah,
hi,
really.
Glenn.
Yeah, hi, Glenn.
There we go.
Yay.
Anyway, a lot of us haven't been anywhere for a long time. I wrote this when you sent out that call for everybody in Local 1000 to write pandemic songs. So this has been hanging around since then. Things have not improved over much, unfortunately. I mean, we've got the vaccine, yeah, okay. We've got an incoming administration that actually might have a coherent policy, so that's an improvement. But basically, and I'm not going to do it in this key anyways. I am stuck at home. I can't go rambling around. There's nobody wandering on the streets of town. There's no point going out, cause there's no place to go. I'm stuck at home for how long, I don't know. There's a virus going round that's got everybody scared. Powers that be swear up and down they caught them unawares. We could but suspect what they did or didn't know. And we're all stuck at home for how long, we don't know. We all stay at home so the virus will not spread. Some folks will wind up sick as dogs, others wind up dead. To keep us and others safe, now we all must go, 'cause we're all stuck at home for long. We don't know.
We hit the wrong button.
Mouse misfire. So here
Yeah.
we're back.
Yep. Yeah, that describes it pretty well.
Yep. So, as you know, we love prompts, so we've picked something out of that song to prompt what we would play next.
Yep.
So,
Because
Okay.
you were talking about the fact that we just can't go rambling around anymore.
Yeah.
So
and we've got a song on the new album called
Okay.
Ramblin' Round.
Okay.
which is
Cool.
all the stuff we used to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As I know you know well, because we've rambled into your direction and you've rambled in ours.
Yep. All right. Should we do this one?
I'm thinking.
All right. Ramblin' round, ramblin'
Rambling
round,
round.
ramblin' round this old world. Ramblin' round, ramblin' round, ramblin' round this old world. Been to the east, been to the west, been to the north, been to the south, been rambling this whole world round. Ramblin' round, ramblin' round, rambling round this old world. Rambling round, rambling round, rambling round this old world. Been to the to the plains, been to the desert, seen floods and rain, been rambling this whole world round. Rambling round, rambling round, rambling round this old world. Rambling round, rambling round, rambling round this old world. Been to the ocean and dove right in, lived in a city, never will again. Been rambling this whole world round. Rambling round, rambling round, rambling round this old world. Rambling round, rambling round, rambling round this old world. Been singing songs and making friends, been telling stories now and then, been rambling this whole world round. Rambling round, rambling round, rambling round this old world. Rambling round, rambling round, rambling round this old world. Rambling round this old world. Rambling round, rambling round, rambling round this old world. Been rambling round this old world.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I like that.
Yeah. That one's sort of a, a Pete Seeger kind of thing. You kind of want people singing along on the chorus
yeah.
on that one.
Yeah.
So we
Oh,
put that out on the new album, and we were looking forward to shows where we could get the audience singing along on that.
Yeah, oh, jeez, yeah.
And we
Maybe
really
next year.
hope we really hope you in the audience were singing along on that.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's what we intended it for.
Yep,
So.
absolutely. And actually, you should hold up the
Oh
instrument.
yeah. Because you haven't seen this dulcimer yet. This is a different dulcimer from the one I had last time.
Oh, really?
That way.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Faith's got two of them now. This one's
Yeah.
from Warren May in Berea, Kentucky. We were
Oh,
down
okay.
there on tour last year.
Yep.
And we
And-
went to
and-
Warren's shop.
And this followed me home.
And yeah, so
I know the
Warren
feeling.
Oh, I know you do.
Warren builds a dulcimer a day.
Really?
6 days a week, and has done this for like 45 years.
Wow.
And he never had more than a handful in the shop.
And we were down there, and we went in there twice, which was dangerous. But the first
Yeah.
time we went in, I messed around with 3 different instruments and was madly in love with all 3. And then we went back the next day with Dan's guitar, this guitar, so that we could hear what the instrument sounded like next to, with his guitar.
Yeah.
And one of the 3 had already been sold.
So that's ruled out.
So that ruled that one out. And the second one sounded terrible with his guitar. So
The
this
third one
this
sounded amazing. So
fabulous. So
Yeah, okay.
it followed me home.
I know the feeling. This guitar right here I picked up one year at Surfa.
Nice.
Bob Grauman was
Oh,
in the,
yes.
he built
Speaking of
beautiful
dangerous.
instruments. I haven't
Yes.
bought one of his yet, but it's
Yeah,
going to happen
you
sooner or
noticed
later.
the yet, yeah.
yeah. No, and Bob was in the selling his guitars, and I just sat down and started noodling on this thing, and it was one of those moments where it picks you up, grabs you by the throat, shakes you up, and says, "Buy me, damn it!"
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And fortunately I had the money. The crazy part is, at the time I was driving a Pontiac Vibe, little bitty car,
Yeah.
and Sandy had gone to New York. She was on the board for Local 1000 at the time, and they were having their meeting in New York, and she had someone. She flew to Albany, and then had somebody drive her down to Kerhonkson for Surfa. And so she has this huge garment bag that's more like a canvas steamer trunk. We call it Big Bertha.
Yeah.
Yeah. But she says she had Big Bertha. She had all her dulcimers. She had her guitar. And I already have my guitar, so I've got to try to stuff this thing now into the vibe. And then she went and bought one of Bob's guitars. I don't know how I did this. To this day, I don't know how I did it, but I got everything stuffed into the back and could still see out the window.
Oh my God!
To this day, I don't know how I did it.
I bet, yeah. And he built such gorgeous guitars, and he's actually started building acoustic basses as well.
Really?
Yeah, Christine Stay from Friction Farm has one of them.
Oh,
and
really?
if I am ever in his area where he actually has another one that's for sale,
It might
that
follow
might
us
follow
home.
me home too.
Yeah, yeah. I've been meaning to call him, see if he can build. We were talking yesterday about a tenor guitar. I was wondering if maybe he might be able to build me one. That's something.
I can imagine
I've
he
thought too.
could probably handle that. So,
Yeah, and probably build a really nice one.
Oh yeah.
You know.
I would think. Oh, play us a song, Stephen.
I was thinking about the other end of Ramblin' Round, and the See You to Phillips song. I don't do a lot of hobo songs, mainly because I spent 2 years of my life homeless, and I kind of took all the romance out of that. I can hear the whistle blowing, high and lonesome as can be. Outside the rain is softly falling. I know it's falling just for me. Looking back along the road I've traveled, the miles could tell a million tales. Each year is like some rolling freight train, and cold as starlight on the rails. Think about a wife and family, a home and all the things it means. Man who spends his life just rambling, it's like a chain of broken dreams. Looking back along the road I've traveled, the miles could tell a million tales. Each year is like some rolling freight train, cold as starlight on the rails. Man who lives out on the highway is like a clock that can't tell time. Man who spends his life just rambling, like a song without a rhyme. Looking back along the road I've traveled, the miles could tell a million tales. Each year is like some rolling freight train, the cold starlight on the rails.
Yeah. We were lucky enough to get to see Utah Phillips in concert twice. And some of the most magical nights we've ever spent. What a brilliant
first time we saw
storyteller.
Him was the Iron Horse.
He is amazing. He was remarkable.
Yeah, I saw him at the Iron Horse out in Northampton, Mass. And
there was the place was not sold out, but we only saw one empty chair.
And we were up in the balcony, and the first set, I got to take some pictures that night, but the first set, the whole set, he did 4 songs.
Yeah,
But
that sounds about right.
but probably 20 stories. And what we noticed was that he would be telling a story or singing a song, interrupt that to tell a story, interrupt that to play a bit of a song, interrupt that to tell a story, and he would have a stack of like 10 things deep and unwind the whole thing before the end of the set.
He was magnificent at that. He
Just
was
stunning.
He could digress, then go off on a tangent, then meander, and eventually wander back to wherever it was he started. There are very few
And he never
who
left
had
you
that
hanging.
kind of skill. No,
Yeah.
He never left
there
you
are-
hanging.
There are a few people who had that skill. He had that skill. Oddly enough, Danny Thomas had that skill.
Yeah.
He
Yeah,
was one of those, a great storyteller.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got to see him once right up close because it wasn't even a concert. It was doing his book tour when he was selling his songbook. And so I saw him at the Whole Earth Bookstore in Evanston, Illinois.
Oh, nice.
And standing maybe 5-6 feet away from him. He was leaning on the front counter, and every once in a while he'd move wrong and bap his guitar on the cash register.
Oh.
This big trunk full of jokes about the cash register getting the hell out of his way. It was wonderful. It was such a beautifully intimate situation. You know.
We the second time we saw him, the first time we were up in the balcony.
Yeah.
And he was down on the stage. The second time we saw him was at Club Passim in Boston. And
okay.
the table
That's a great venue.
Oh, it is. And the table that we were seated at was right next to the stage.
Oh.
Close enough that in order for me to sit comfortably to be able to see him, I actually had my elbow on the stage.
Oh.
Yeah.
So I was pretty much looking right up his nose. It was
I've
amazing.
been that. I've never been quite that close, but I was when Libba Cotton did her last tour and stopped at somebody else's Troubles in Chicago. I was, right end of the bar in front, right next to the stage.
Nice.
It was beautiful. Yeah, and of course she was traveling with Mike Seeger. So that to see both of them in one night, it was
That's great.
a trip.
Yeah.
Well, let's take you for a little ride.
Yep. You mentioned something about rolling, and we
Slightly different kind of rails here.
Slightly different kind of rails, slightly different kind of rolling.
Okay.
And this is sometimes referred to as my Muppet song. And it also came from a prompt. We'll talk about that afterwards. Ready?
Yeah.
Life is a few unwelcome adventures interspersed with beauty and joy. You control your reactions to everything, yin and yang, this roller coaster called life. Love is a couple of unplanned arguments jumbled in with caring and joy. Talk to your partner and things go more smoothly. Yin and yang, this roller coaster called life. Peace is a set of negotiations, seeks to overcome hatred and greed. Peace takes legwork, it doesn't just happen. Yin and yang, this roller coaster called life. May life, love and peace enfold you, help you make it through the day. Ride on that roller coaster, do your best, come what may. Hope is a yearning for life's best circumstance, love's contentment and peace for all. Everyone deserves the very best. Yin and yang, this roller coaster. Yin and yang, this roller
roller coaster, yin and yang, this roller coaster called life.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
And
And that one-
easy being green.
That's right.
You can just picture Kermit singing that. Couldn't you?
Really?
Totally. So and that one did come from a prompt. The prompt was unwelcome adventures. So, of course, so I had to write a happy song. So it seemed appropriate.
Okay, yeah, you ever the contrarian.
She tries.
I would never do that. By the way, hi Diane. Yeah.
Complete change of subject at this point. Because I would be remiss if I did not do this. Written by my frequent partner, Sandy Andina, about America's last socially acceptable addiction. I wake up every morning. My mind is still on hold. My consciousness is sitting on the shelf. I cannot keep from yawning. The bathroom floor is cold. Oh, why do I do this to myself? I stumble to the kitchen and I see that holy grail waiting there for me. Caffeine, I need caffeine. I need it now, I need it hot and black and mean. One more desert, what I need is a shell of liquid speed. Give me that caffeine. The uninitiated have simply no idea of what it's like to crave that coffee black. I'm never satiated, and it is true I fear I'm stuck with Mrs. Olson on my back. I get that shaking aching in my bones, like that empty. Won't you feed my coffee, Jones? Caffeine! I need caffeine! I need it now, I need it hot and black and mean. One bump desert, what I need is steam and shuttle liquid speed. Give me that caffeine. I've tried so hard to break it. I'm telling you, no joke. TM and acupuncture with no breeze. I've tried so hard to shake it. I even snorted coke, but those wretched little bubbles made me sneeze. Someday they'll find me in an alley busted out. Cappuccino foam dribbling from my mouth. Caffeine! I need caffeine! I need it now, I need it hot and black and mean. One more desert, what I need is steam and shot of liquid speed. Gimme that caffeine!
Yes.
Yeah.
That deserves a story.
Okay.
Because that was the song that introduced us to Andina and Rich. We were at the Northeast Regional Folk Alliance years and years ago
In Kerhonkson,
in Kerhonkson.
New York.
New York, for those who have no idea where Kerhonkson is, which is probably most of the country.
Because since Kerhonkson is like
Nowhere.
a village within a town in the middle of nowhere.
It's not the middle of nowhere, but you can see
You
it.
can see it from there.
Very easily.
Yep.
Yes.
And we were scheduled to play in an afternoon showcase. And the act before us was this duo called Andina and Rich. And we had never heard Andina and Rich before. So we got there early enough to listen to, I think we...
Most of the set.
Most, if not all of your set. And you guys finished with that song. And we're looking at each... And everybody in the room is rolling on the floor laughing. And I think Robin Bateau was...
He was sitting right in front of him.
He was like right there in the front row. And he was howling, and it was just, and we were dying, and we're looking at each other like, what do we follow that with? And we, thought through what we had, and we came up with what we thought was the only song in our repertoire that could follow that, and it apparently worked because you kept running up to us all weekend to say something about it. So this is what we followed it with.
Did you ever stop to wonder just where we all came from? Did we crawl out of the ooze or from a distant sun? What if humans really came to Earth from homes among the stars, looking for a simple life of worth without TV sets or cars? What if our ancestors really were Amish from the stars? Maybe they were runaways, escaping the bonds of the chains, decided to live simpler way, to grow organic coffee beans. What if our ancestors really were Amish from the stars? Had they left a life of enslavement, ensnared by robotic chains, led to a new promised land by a Moses with star drive planes? What if our ancestors really were Amish from the stars?
There we go. In there somewhere.
Have we in time repeated the past and reinvented what we once abhorred? Will we again be outcast to seek a new world once more? What if our ancestors really were Amish from the stars? What if our ancestors really were Amish from the stars?
I love it. I love it. I love
Yeah.
it. That's a
And
good.
and the entire rest of the weekend, Steve would come running up to us and go, "Amish from space, that's brilliant, and go running off again.
It's so wonderfully bizarre.
Oh, I know.
I was that came out of a dream. I was like, I woke up from a dream, and there's like people in
Horse and
buggies and stagecoaches driving around, and spaceships are landing in the same field of view. It's like, that's interesting.
And we figure it was probably, too much pizza followed by too much science fiction shows. Yeah, we were watching Firefly and Battlestar Galactica at the time, so.
Oh, but that'll do it.
Yeah.
So, anyway, so that was, I mean, when you did caffeine, it's like, oh, we got to do that one and tell the story, because that is how we met years ago. And and this is part of the fun of the conferences. It's just like meeting other folks. And a couple of years later, we wound up on an in the round together again at NERFA with you and Sandy.
You guys and Link from Springfield.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Oh, Link, I haven't heard from her in ages.
I know. I
we last saw her at a PMN a few years ago. We haven't been to PMN in a few years because we keep being off on the road.
On the road, yeah.
Yeah, but I'm the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, and and again, we it was an in the round, and I don't remember what song you guys had done, but we pulled out another humorous song, and at the end of it, as we're all putting instruments away, you guys said to us and said we should do some shows together. It's like, okay.
Yeah.
And we've had a good time doing that.
Yeah.
So
Oh yeah.
I look forward to when we can do it again.
Yep.
Absolutely. Well, we're still on the subject of traveling, and this one also came out of one of the FA conferences. In this case, SURFA, Southeast Regional Folk Alliance. Now, at the time, they're now doing it out of Chattanooga, but at the time they're doing it in Montreat,
which was
North
a really
Carolina.
Cool place.
Oh yeah, that wonderful Presbyterian Retreat Center.
Yeah.
And of course, we were doing the communal meals. And so we're saying one morning breakfast, we're sitting around the table, and here's about 300 or 400 people steeped in this grown out of the ground organic music. And we're having this discussion on how dependent we've become on our electronic devices. Our our laptops, our cell phones, especially those of us who tour our GPS units.
Amen.
And it turns out everybody at the table had a nickname for the GPS unit. Sandy calls hers Chatty Cathy. I call mine Witch Agnes. There's one guy who called his the Road Nazi.
Our friend Beth DeSambre calls hers Edna, and has it with the English accent.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah, there was one little old gal. She looked up. She says, "I call mine Jeepus." You said Jeepus? She said, "Yeah, GPS, Jeepus." Well, you know how Sandy is.
Mm-hmm.
She could set off into parody at the drop of a hat. I mean, the trigger is Pavlovian, and the trigger is like, the sustained existence of the universe. So she was off. She ran up to her room, and 15 minutes later, she came down with this. What a friend we have in Jeepus, who will guide us on our way. Electronically she'll keep us moving forward every day to our desired destination. Doggedly she doth insist, though quietness and I screwed that up. Oh, our desired destination. I'm going to start over. What a friend we have in Jeepus, who will guide us on our way. Electronically she'll keep us moving forward every day through the neighborhood that creep us out. She'll sometimes let us stray. She will never fall asleep as long as we don't pull her plug away. What a friend we have in Jeepus, though we think we know the route. Better than she does, she'll keep us moving onward in pursuit of our desired destination. Doggedly she doth insist, though in quiet desperation, sometimes we like to see her little wired wrist. She's ever navigating, she provideth us a choice. We can hear it calculating in a male or female voice. Garmin, Tom, or Magellan, Brett or Yanko Francophone. Looking back, there's just no telling how we ever found stuff on our own. So what a friend we have in Jeepus, sitting in or on our dash. Electronically she'll keep us ever shelling out our cash. Though as soon as we've updated all her maps we must again. So each time we feel frustrated, remember Jeepus is our friend.
I love that.
And I thought it was quite appropriate that you got lost in the middle of the song. I don't know. It
No
seemed
GPS
to no GPS to guide
route
you.
you back.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Seriously, I don't know. That line of how we ever found stuff on our own. It really is strange how dependent we've become on.
Though as our friend Diane just pointed out in the chat, she's seen more folks lost with the GPS because there are certain parts of the country that those maps don't do a very good job.
Like where we are. So there's roads up here that don't exist. So, or there's roads that you can start down, but then they turn into what's called up here a Class 6 road, which is a road that is a public way, but the public funds don't maintain. So the folks who live on it are welcome to do stuff if they want, but the town doesn't reimburse.
And some of them
peter out to nothing.
Yeah, some of them end up in somebody's driveway and then end.
Or cow pasture.
And end. And some of them you get there and you can see where the trees have grown in where there might have been a road once upon a time.
And if you look really far, you can see where the other end of the road is down there 3 miles away. But you can't get there from here, and you got to go an hour to get there.
Oh, we've had some adventures with the GPS. We're on tour and we're doing a radio show in Little Rock, and we were on our way there, and we realized something was wrong with the GPS when it was directing us for our third consecutive left turn. And okay, something's wrong here. So we stopped into a gas station. We got some maps, figured out where the hell we were, asked for directions, and got on with it. Next day, Sandy wanted to go find a Best Buy, get a new GPS. Well, and she's sitting there while we're going in circles, and she's spanking the GPS. Bad Kathy. Next day she gets the new GPS. She stuffs the old one in her purse and says, "It's not your fault. It's the economy."
And you have to remember that 2 wrongs may not make a right, but 3 lefts do. So
yeah, right.
Well,
a warning to liberals everywhere.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Well,
We'll follow that with a cheery little song.
yeah, we figured one a cappella song deserved another.
It's a little
Okay.
cheery song called Saying Goodbye. When it's time to say goodbye to an old and faithful friend,
When she's gone as far as she can go, and this is the end.
we'll think about the good
And
times
the places that we've seen.
as they haul her off to meet her end, now called
Recycling.
Her once fine threads are frayed and wearing thin.
Her sure footing, well, it's dancing round again.
Incontinence leaving puddles,
Behind her on the floor.
lost her wipers
Hubcaps.
and fuel filler door. We get attached to our cars. They say a lot about who we are. But when it's time to say
We
goodbye,
leave 'em with the used car guy.
or send 'em to the crusher by and by. I miss my old VW bug. All those vacuum lines and spark plugs, heater boxes.
Carburetor.
Fix it yourself and you'll get there.
Well, later.
Each new car we get has new gadgets to try.
That much more to distract us when our task should be to drive.
They have a mind of their own,
Computers, some use the phone.
and a voice in the dashboard tells you how to get back home. We get attached to our cars. They say a lot about who we are. But when it's time to say
We
goodbye,
leave 'em with the used car guy.
or send 'em to the crusher by and by, send their souls to that scrapyard in the sky.
For dear departed Volvo.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
I don't know if we've sent you a copy of Then and Now, but that's the last track on the album,
Yeah.
the new
I love
album.
it.
So yeah,
And that one, our Volvo, mechanically was quite sound. Electronically, it was a disaster.
it died of terminal computer network failure.
They wired the computer, the computer modules in the thing like Christmas lights.
Oh, jeez.
So if one failed, or if one of the wires, and it wasn't even wires, it was solder joints between the
Oh,
two
good
failed,
grief.
they all went.
Yeah,
Oh,
and,
joy.
and so the dealer's like, oh, it's got to be the ABS module because that's the one that's
the
lighting
first
up.
one in line.
So
yeah.
they replaced that for several $100s. And then the next one says, hey. And after 3 days of them trying to fix it, including once we picked it up, started driving up the highway, and all the gauges went to zero because all of the displays on the dashboard of your
Those are all
car,
electronic.
those are all
Computer
computer
modules.
modules.
And he
They're not
turned
connected to anything.
Turned around, drove back to the dealership, walked in, handed him the keys, and said, "Try again." And the
Oh,
next day,
jeez.
they call up and say, "We're sure we've got it now." And Dan said, "Well,
Have the service
have the
manager drive
service
it home.
manager take it home overnight and bring it back in the morning. And if he can make it home and back again, we'll come pick the car up tomorrow." 5 minutes after 5, we get a phone call from the service manager. They had to tow me back. So 3 days after that, Dan called him up and said, "Do you have the car? What state is the car in?
Is it drivable?
Is it drivable? We're coming down to pick it up. We just sold it."
Traded it for a Subaru,
that
sight
we had
unseen.
for like 100,000 miles. So,
And it's like, it would have made somebody a great project car who was good with electronics, but they'd have had to fix every module.
oh yeah,
of the thing.
and it just wasn't worth the effort or the
Yeah,
time.
at some point you just got to
Yeah.
kind of walk away.
Yep.
Yep, and we did.
I think it got 5 throttle bodies because that piece of computer electronics kept failing, and the warranty on that piece became a lifetime warranty. About every 30,000 miles, I had to put another one in.
Yep, great fun.
It was the first car with drive-by-wire where the gas pedal was not attached by cable to the engine.
It was
Really?
attached to a computer module.
It was attached to a computer
Yeah,
module,
oh, right,
and then the
yeah.
throttle body would open and close based on signals from the computer.
Uh-huh.
And
It had a few
sometimes that
problems.
Yeah. That sounds dangerous.
Well, yeah. So we have time for one more song. So why don't you pick something to play us home with?
Okay.
and
Oh.
we'll chat for a minute after, and then we'll say goodnight to these people.
Okay. Well, since I'm doing the closer, I will close with what I've been closing with for 30 years. Utah Phillips song. And if I gotta leave you with a thought, I'd love to leave you with this thought. I believe if I live my life again, I would still be here with you. I believe if I live my life again, I would still be here with you. I believe if Lady Luck was blind, that old sun would never shine. I believe that death really held a knife, we'd all be beggars of life. I believe if I live my life again, I would still be here with you. I believe if I live my life again, I would still be here with you. I'll never see the ending of my mind. Everything will have its time. And why should I ask for things that I don't need? Or pretty lies to hide my greed. I believe that I live my life again, I would still be here with you. I believe if I live my life again, I would still be here with you. I believe if I live my life again, I would still be here with you. I believe if I live my life again, I would still be here with you. I would still be here with you. I would still be here with you.
Yeah.
Hymn song's always a great ending.
Yep. That one's a good one to close out on.
Yeah.
So,
Oh,
Well, thank you for having me. This has been fun.
yeah, it's been great. And do us a favor and tell folks about Wild Hog in the Woods.
We'll do. We'll do. We will have a pardon me, an event, up on there, and I'll set up an event, or either I will or Jamie will. Shareable, and so that you can invite folks and what have you.
Yep.
sure,
Oh,
but
no,
tell them about the whole series.
The whole series.
Oh,
not
the
just
whole
us.
series.
Yeah.
We
We're giving you
Wild
free
Hog in the Woods
advertisement
Coffee
here.
House. Pardon me. Wild Hog in the Woods Coffee House has, of course, like everybody else, not been able to do live shows. So we've been doing virtual concerts, some pre-recorded, some live stream. We've got a live stream coming up very soon with Dan and Faith here. I'll be doing a pre-recorded bit end of the month, which is not going to be like any concert you've seen. Trust me, it will have animation, it will have puppets, it will have crazy, strange
Oh,
things.
fun.
Don't miss that one.
See
Yeah.
me dressed up as a wizard.
Ooh.
And weird little jokes and all kinds of stuff. We've got, I think, Tom Wasselchuk coming up we've done so far this year. Tom Castle and a bunch of other wonderful folks.
Seem to recall Tom
David
Smith
H.
is involved in there too.
Yeah,
Tom Smith's
Smith.
coming up.
Yep.
Tom Smith's coming up. David H.B. Drake has done one for us. So all kinds of 7:30. Showtime is 7:30 Central Standard Time. 7:30 to 8:30, roughly, more or less an hour. We're doing it largely as a benefit for the Wilmar Neighborhood Center, which does a bunch of just wonderful things.
Yep.
In Madison, and thanks to the pandemic, their income is like, and it's just, their major events that they do to raise money have not been able to be done because people can't get together and go do stuff. So we're doing it largely as a benefit for the Wilmar Center. We hope that you'll be generous with the virtual Philip the pig, which is what we call the tip jar, little porcelain pig that we use with live events. But we have a virtual Philip this time, and we hope you join us. It's Friday nights, 7:30, and our season will go through the end of May, through the weekend just before Memorial Day.
Nice.
We've loved playing at the venue,
at the
Wilmar.
actual venue.
And sorry we won't be able to do that for a while, but
and I believe we're February 19th. That rings a bell.
Right, February 19th.
Yep. And our friend Diane Lasecki plays as
Diane Michaels.
Diane Michaels. She's
She
tuned
said-
in, and she says she's played there in the
A
past.
couple of times. She's up in Baraboo.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
So
Yeah.
but
And yep. And so next week, we'll be back with our midweek song swap, and next week we have
Martin Swinger.
Martin Swinger.
Oh, cool.
Martin Foster Swinger, for those of you who know him on Facebook. And
Okay.
just a brilliant, brilliant songwriter, and just about the nicest guy you can possibly imagine. And so we're looking forward to that. And our songwriter showcase with the prompts and things like that, that'll be back next month.
We have to figure out who's going to be with us, and we have to look to see what prompts people put in, because we
haven't
have
looked.
neglected to do that. So doing it online, and we have to have people put prompts into the
the chat.
comment stream, and then we have to go hunt them up again.
And there, I think for that show, there are 3 different places to look for comments.
At least.
Yeah.
So
it makes it kind of a challenge.
Okay.
Anyway, so anyway, so that's stuff coming up, and thank you again, Stephen. It was a delight to
Thank
spend
you.
an evening with
Always
you.
fun.
It's always fun. I hope we'll get to do something in person again sometime, maybe next year.
Yeah.
So
One hopes.
yep.
And tell Sandy that it'd be awesome to do another dueling duos show.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
One of these days.
We had fun with that.
that
that was a hoot.
was just such a hoot. We've done that a few times now. So
Yep.
Yeah.
always great.
And it's sort of like this, only on steroids.
Right.
And riffing off of each other and
Oh, totally.
jokes.
And with a
yeah.
live audience, it's a whole different.
Oh, it is.
Completely,
Yeah.
completely. And you guys out there live, we just can't see you. So,
Yep.
Yeah.
So-
the feedback is always appreciated. So,
Yep.
It really
Anyway,
is.
thanks so much, everybody, for joining us. And
Yep. Thanks to all who have tuned in afterwards, and
It's true.
love to have
the video
anybody and
stays up, so
yep.
people are welcome to watch it after.
We've already had at least one person say, "Please tell me that that's going to be on after it's live, because I could really use some cheering up." So,
Okay, good.
So hopefully she'll see it.
Hopefully.
All right.
All right. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.